Okay, so welcome everybody. Welcome to this first webinar from Visit USA Belgium. So as you have already all understood for this webinar, I'm going to have to put you all on the mute mode, okay, to be able to hear clearly everybody and our friends here today. So this first webinar will be focused on the Orlando area, as you have certainly understood. So I'm going to present you our three friends today, which are here to present you Experience Kissimmee. You know, so we will see with Gunther, Experience Kissimmee, which is an area near Orlando. Okay, you will see whole different kind of things we can do there. Also regarding the lodging, home rentals, different attractions we can do there. We will also let you know about the situation, what you can propose to your customers, okay, and different possibilities. We will then continue with our friend Dave from Universal Orlando. So he will also let you know all different thing about Universal, also the actual situation in Universal regarding the reopening and the different things that you will be able to experience there. And then we will finish with our friend Snowbird from SeaWorld Park and Entertainment. He will also talk about the different park and different things that you can experience there. Also, as you all know, if you've got some question, don't hesitate to put it on the chat mode, okay? I will try to answer to the question when I can. And if you've got a lot of questions, don't hesitate. I will transfer to Gunther, Dave, and Norbert if you've got any questions. So really, don't hesitate. As I also told you on the last email that you have received, this webinar is the first part of our brand new program with the Visit USA Belgium, which is the Visit USA specialist, okay? So you will receive soon on our next email, on our next newsletter, the different things you will have to do to be our next Visit USA Belgium specialist. The first part will be to follow all of our webinar. And after all webinar, you will receive an email with a link for a small quiz, okay? So you will have to do the both, follow the webinar and answer to the quiz to have a chance to be part of the next promotion. Logically, it will be on a year, okay? So for our next workshop, which will more than probably be next year, as well as you know, this year it will certainly be difficult to organize a workshop due to the situation, okay? So we'll certainly do something next year. Next workshop will be next year. So, and during the workshop, we will have a ceremony for the new Visit USA Belgium specialist, okay? So before starting with Gunther, let's first try if everybody can hear me. Just say yes on the chat mode to check. Okay, Marty, yes. Gladys, yes. Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Really good. So you can hear me. So also don't hesitate. This webinar will be in English. Okay, but if you've got a question, don't hesitate to ask me in French or in Dutch. It's not a problem at all. Okay, so let's start with Gunther. Gunther, it's your time. Yes. You can.
Okay.
Up.
Let me see. Do you see the screen?
I can, yeah, but we see the program, not the diaporama.
Okay, let me go back.
And don't forget the audio mode for the video.
Yeah. Let me... Now it should work. Now you see the presentation?
No, it's still the
It's
work
still a
mode.
program.
Okay, let me see.
So as you can see, everything is live, so we sometimes have some issue.
Oh, testing is always good and worked perfectly.
Yes. This is still a program.
Still the
Yep.
program.
Yeah.
Can you just open it on the slideshow, Gunther?
No.
Just to go to full screen?
I think he's trying that. I saw
Yeah.
him click.
Yeah.
But should we start with someone else then?
Do you see it now?
This is still a program. This is still the program. So, but if you want, I can do it.
Let
Yeah.
me see.
Now we're seeing it, aren't we? Or is that?
I'm seeing your motorcycle now.
Yep. That's strange.
Okay.
Try one more time, and if not, I'll try mine if you want to.
Yeah.
Gerald, whatever you think. I'm gonna try one more time, Gunther, just to see.
Is this no?
C K. Wait. Up. Great.
Do you see it now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Great.
Now it's great. Perfect. Okay. Well, welcome to Experience Kissimmee, and thank you very much for joining us today on the webinar about Central Florida, about Kissimmee, Universal, and SeaWorld. For those of you who have no idea about Experience Kissimmee, just to give you an explanation, Experience Kissimmee is the name of a destination management organization in Central Florida. And we are close to the Orlando International Airport, and we are part of the Orlando metropolitan area, but we are not part of the Orlando, we are part of the Orlando metropolitan area. Our job at Experience Kissimmee is definitely, to share our incredible experiences of our sunny destination, what we have really to offer. And it starts with the world famous theme parks. It continues with the outrageous outdoor activities, and of course could conclude with exceptional dining and shopping experiences. In the past few years, thousands of guests have really visited us and spent their vacations in our area. And this is just because we make vacations. And how could that look like? Well, we make vacations by sharing stories and by sharing creative images and continuous storytelling to really inspire in visitation to our area. And in the end, that means with the goal that most of our guests really can make memories in real time. Well, but let's have a look at the video. The video I have prepared that explains a little bit more how that could look like and how we make vacations. So I hope that it works now on your end as well.
Gunther, we don't have any sound.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Sorry. Now it should work.
Yes, now it works.
We're gonna do it again. 'Cause tonight is when we come alive. I just wanna have fun. La 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 la, I'm all about it. La 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 la, I'm all about fun. I wanna dance the night away. We see the light of day. Come give me some.
Don't you wanna come? Don't you wanna come? Don't you wanna come alive? Don't you wanna come? Don't you wanna come? Don't you wanna come alive?
Whoa, oh, oh, oh. All about the fun. Yeah, yes I am.
Okay, so I hope that the video has given you a good overview about what the destination has to offer and how we make vacations. But now let's have a look into the details of the area. As you probably all know, is the major gateway for our area is definitely the gateway airport, Orlando International Airport. And Kissimmee is only 25 minutes away from the Orlando International Airport. And due to this, it is our major gateway. The slide shows you here the departure airports, which have been available in the past from all of our European destinations on how to get to Florida. I mean, most of the Europeans, most of the Belgians, they either used hubs in Europe or hubs on the northeast coast to get to Florida, or they have used nonstop connections going into Orlando. Unfortunately, now at this moment, at this stage, there are no nonstop connections anymore, but you can still get to Orlando via the northeast hubs in the US. The hubs in Europe might come back soon in July. I mean, I have heard that, for example, Lufthansa in Frankfurt is providing nonstop flights soon to Orlando. I have heard about Iceland Air that they provide also flights from Reykjavik into Orlando in the early fall. And hopefully there is also the nonstop flight from Delta from Amsterdam into Orlando coming back soon. I mean, flights are there out of Amsterdam, but unfortunately not nonstop to Orlando yet. But all of this is coming soon, hopefully over the next weeks, over the next months. And then there is again a vast variety of opportunities to fly into Orlando. So why is Orlando the major gateway? I think in that case, it makes sense to have a look to the Florida map. Here you can see exactly where Kissimmee is located, definitely in central Florida, south of the Orlando International Airport. And when you have a closer look to the map, you will see as well that the Atlantic coast with Kennedy Space Center or Cocoa Beach is really not that far. Only 1 hour and a half or 1 hour 15 minutes away from Kissimmee. And even if you want to go to the direction of Tampa or St. Petersburg Clearwater, it's not that far. It's just 1.5 or 2 hours away from Kissimmee, which means you can actually, before you start with your Florida round trip, what you are planning most of the time anyway, you can actually spend another day in Kissimmee and experience the Atlantic coast or even part of the Gulf Coast as part of a day trip and spend another night in Central Florida. And then you continue your round trip in Florida. And according to the map, you will really recognize Orlando can be either the start of a Florida round trip or it could be the end of a Florida round trip. What we recommend is definitely that you should stay at least 4 to 5 nights in Central Florida, ideally even longer, because there is so much to see in Central Florida. And here, just a map. What is really available as part of theme parks are concerned, water parks are concerned, area attractions are concerned. All of this is really available in that area, and then you would understand that you need to stay at least 4 to 5 nights to get an idea of what the destination has to offer. So having all of that in mind, you also would understand, okay, when you have so many theme parks like Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, so many water parks over here, I mean, you need to stay somewhere. And why should you take Kissimmee? And I have prepared about 4 to 5 bullet points, which are really important for you to know and which makes clear why you should stay in the Kissimmee area. First of all, is definitely the world famous theme parks and attractions, which are really close to Kissimmee, or Kissimmee is close to all of them. And here, of course, the most important ones, Walt Disney World, Universal, Orlando Resort, and SeaWorld Parks and Resorts Orlando. And these theme park areas are really only minutes away from Kissimmee. And now I want to take a closer look to everyone. So as you probably have heard and are aware of, is that some of the theme parks have already opened. They reopened. The first one was Universal on June the 5th, and SeaWorld opened up last week on June the 11th. So Universal opened up all the theme parks and the theme water park, and SeaWorld opened up the theme park SeaWorld, the water park Aquatica, and Discovery Cove, where you can experience the swimming with the dolphins. Disney is going to open up in July. First of all, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, July 11th, and Hollywood Studios and Epcot on July 15th. When the water parks will be open, that's not clear yet. For Universal, some of the hotels have already opened, and for Disney, also some of the hotels will reopen. But the entertainment complexes at Universal City Complex, and Disney Springs at Disney, they have already opened. So, and when you want to have all the details which theme park is open or which attractions in the area are really open, you have to look after this link I have featured here, experiencekissimmee.com/blog. That shows exactly and gives you an update what is open. What all the theme parks have in common is really now with the reopening is that they really take good care of you, I mean the guests, and of course the employees. All the employees will be trained on the new situation, on the new measurements. What all have in common is, for all guests, is that they need to wear face coverage. even I think it's 2 years and up, they have to wear face coverage. Social distancing is very important. So 6 feet in that case, you have to be apart from each other. And then what they prefer is definitely the more and more cashless transactions as possible, less touch points as possible, and they do temperature checks and temperature screenings. Ideally, you as guests, as visitors, you should do it before you come to the theme parks. Well, hand washing stations will be available all over the parks and the water parks. Well, and of course, I mean, the capacity will be limited at the theme parks within the first few weeks of operation, just to be on the safe side and follow all the instructions. And some of the theme parks, even you have to reserve your visitation online, so just to keep everything under control. But you hear more about the specifics from Dave and from Norbert about their areas they represent. Well, and of course, you need to stay somewhere, and Kissimmee has a huge variety of accommodation options. And our, I would say, unique product are the vacation homes. In the US, we are known as the vacation home capital of the world. And well, just because we have so many vacation homes over here. And those vacation homes, which we do offer in our area, they could vary in the size. I mean, we have 2-bedroom vacation homes up to 15-bedroom vacation homes. And we have medium-priced ones up to really luxury ones. And they could be located in gated communities, but they could be also located in resort hotels or in golf resorts. So there is a huge variety of vacation homes in size, in price, and location-wise. Especially the luxury resort ones, they could be very unique. They could have included a bowling alley. They could have an in-house theater, jacuzzi, private pool. You can ask for your own chef. So all those things are available and can be requested. And I would say nowadays in the Corona times, the vacation homes are really, because of social distancing, are really the perfect opportunity to stay in the area because they really take care of the social distancing. But besides the homes, we also have hotels and regular hotels and regular resorts. So we have medium-priced ones up to luxury resorts, and that could be also golf resorts. We have also all suite hotels. So all kinds of accommodations which really fit to each family size, each family budget, and of course each style. So we really provide all those things your guests or our guests are interested in. Besides the theme parks, there's also the opportunity to experience some of our unique outdoor adventures. And these outdoor adventures are really definitely not competing with any theme parks. They are more complementing the entire Central Florida product. So in our area, you can experience airboat rides and airboat rides on the headwaters of the Everglades. And when you look at the picture on the top left corner, it shows you, I mean, the nature, the landscape looks the same as being in the Everglades National Park because we are already part of the headwaters of the Everglades. Then you can do zip lining over hundreds of alligators, for example, at Gatorland. So that's all possible in our area. You can also do kayaking on our rivers. So for example, on Shingle Creek, and you can experience a lot of our animal encounters. So these are all activities you can do in our area besides the theme parks. Well, and then of course, shopping and dining. This is also a reason why you should stay in our area because we offer a variety of outlet centers, and a variety of shopping malls. And even on the dining side, we can provide you fine dining opportunities at Celebration, which is really located next to the city of Kissimmee. And we can also offer the opportunity to experience several of the dinner shows of that area. So, which is, for example, Medieval Times Dinner Show and Tournament, Pirates Dinner Adventure, or Capone's Dinner Show. All of the show are really interactive shows with a lot of activities, of course dining as well, but the focus is definitely on the interactivity, what is happening really in front of you. Well, and then we have even some local attractions. We have Old Town USA, which is our own entertainment district. And it's also very unique because this is an area with shops, restaurants, and bars where our Florida locals, where the Florida residents are going out. And over here you can see and meet the Florida residents, which is also unique for that area. And every Saturday, as the picture shows on the top left corner, we have our classical car parade. So that's every Saturday. Old Town is open again, and surrounded is Old Town by a kind of amusement park called Fun Spot America, and this one is also open. The unique thing about Fun Spot and Old Town is you don't pay any parking admission and you don't pay any entrance fee, because these are not or theme parks. These are just open areas. You can just walk around, stroll along, and if you really want to do one of the activities, then you pay for the activity. Well, and then the top right image shows how you experience the zip lining over alligators, and that is a unique attraction you can do at Gatorland. So this is also available in our area and one of the attractive really activities. And then I come to the end of the presentation. I just want to summarize what is unique for our area. Of course, the sunny weather and that we are close to the Orlando International Airport, but very important, we are close to the world famous theme parks, and we are known as the vacation home capital of the world. We have those unique vacation homes, and that besides all the hotels and all suites hotels. And then, of course, our unique outdoor activities, which are available in our area. And that is something you should always remember when you think about Kissimmee, all those unique aspects of our destination. And here's my contact information, email address and website. And if you want to follow, as I mentioned before, the news on the theme parks and attractions side, what is open, what is closed, what just recently reopened, then go to experiencekissimmee.com/blog. And if you want to have more information of the entire, I would say, Kissimmee area as far as COVID-19 is concerned, about further attractions, hotel openings, restaurant openings, you should look at experiencekissimmee.com/COVID-19. That shows you all the actual updates on the entire reopening situation in our Kissimmee area and even beyond. So this is really a good source of information if you want to hear more about Central Florida. Well, and this is the end of my presentation. So thank you very much for the attention, and sorry for the technical problems at the beginning. Well, and I hope to see you and your guests soon when it's possible again to come to our very nice sunny destination in Central Florida. And now I hand it over again to my colleagues, just a second, and say goodbye, and yeah, hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much, Gunther. Thank you for the presentation. So now let me bring you to the magical world of Universal with Dave. So Dave, if you're ready.
Thank you, Gerald. Yes, me and my new best friend.
Yeah.
Let me just try and share my screen. And let me see. Does that work?
Perfect. Yeah.
We're good? Oh, one moment. One moment. Sorry.
You've forgotten the sound.
I did. You knew. You knew. All of this practice, but I still can't get it right. Hang on a second. Okay, here we go again. Just to be sure. How's that?
Perfect.
Okay. That's
Yes,
great.
let's go.
Well, thank you, everybody, and thank you for joining the webinar today. Yeah, I'm Dave Neal, Senior Business Development Manager based in the UK, but looking after the Belgian market. So I'm sure I've met a few of you before at various times. And I represent Universal Parks and Resorts, which means I look after Orlando, which obviously I'll be talking about today, but also our park in Los Angeles or Hollywood as well. Yeah, very interesting times, and so much I could talk to you about for much more than 20 minutes. But at the end of this presentation, I'm going to put this screen back on again and give you some information on our Universal Partner Community, which is our website for all of the travel agents all around the world to register and log into if you haven't done this already. And I'll give you these details at the end. But just to say that as far as everything that's going on, the reopening of the parks, the information on health and safety, any new information at all, day by day, all goes on to the Universal Partner Community. So it's a great thing to register for if you haven't already, and you can find out much more information as the days progress as to what's happening in Universal Orlando Resort. For anybody who hasn't been to Universal or hasn't too much experience in selling Universal Orlando Resort, we are 3 parks, Universal Studios on the right-hand side, which is next door and linked to Islands of Adventure, linked by the famous Hogwarts Express that runs between the 2 Wizarding Worlds of Harry Potter, and also our 3rd park, which has been open just over 3 years now, Volcano Bay, the water theme park, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. Also, just to mention that throughout the parks, we have our 8 on-site hotels. So currently we have reopened 6 of them, but there are 8 hotels in total. And they also nowadays range from very much a value hotel. On the left-hand side of our map, you can see Surfside and Dockside, which are part of the new Endless Summer Resort complex. This is almost 3,000 new rooms that we have added. Surfside opened in June last year, and Dockside is due to open in the summer of this year. This means that we have a range of hotels from a value entry level there at Surfside and Dockside. And as you look from left to right on the map, you will see other hotels that you will know, such as Aventura and Cabana Bay, Sapphire Falls, and those hotels on the river, the Premier hotels, which I'll talk about later, the Royal Pacific, the Hard Rock Hotel, and the Lowe's Portofino Bay Hotel, which also include, when you stay there, an express pass to visit the parks on each day as well, which is a really great benefit. So I want to just show you a little video, and this will be the easiest way to summarize what's happened. As Gunter said, we reopened the City Walk first at the end of June, and that worked very well with lots of social distancing measures and lots of health and safety measures in place. And then we reopened the hotels and the parks in the week of the 5th of June. So things have been working very well, but on a day-by-day basis, we learn more and more and more. And let me just show you a little video which sort of explains a little bit about life at Universal at the moment.
Finally, the time has come for welcome backs. Glad to see us, and giant yet distant air hugs. It's time to see all those smiling eyes we love so much. But first, before the gates fly open and everything roars again, we need to do something. You and us together. We've always been about safety first, and that's never been more true than now. So for the health and safety of our guests and our team members, we've set up some straightforward safety protocols. The first part starts with you, before you even get to the parks or City Walk. If you have a temperature of 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 38 degrees Celsius or higher, you will not be permitted to enter. So we're going to need you to stay home until you feel better. When you come to visit, you'll need to wear protective face coverings. If you don't already have one, they are available for purchase. You'll need to wear a face covering throughout your visit, except for when you're in the water at your hotel pool. While you're at Volcano Bay, face coverings are recommended, except when you're swimming or going to and from an attraction. And here's something else to look for throughout your visit. All across the parks, you'll see these important icons regarding face coverings, temperature checks, hand washing, and social distancing. While you've been preparing to visit, we've been busy enhancing our already aggressive cleaning procedures, especially in high-touch areas. When you get here, you can expect extra precautions like temperature checks for our guests and our team members before entering the parks or City Walk. You'll notice signage. Lots of signage, reminding everyone to keep washing their hands frequently. At restaurants, tables will be spaced, so we keep the right distance between groups. Speaking of which, you'll also see spacing guides, directions, and floor markers to help maintain social distancing requirements. In addition, team members will help assist with social distancing when needed. Next, while you're here, you'll want to use the official Universal Orlando Resort app throughout your visit. While not all attractions will be open, with the app, you will be able to join the virtual line experience at participating attractions. The app also lets you pre-order meals for pickup or to have them delivered to your table at select restaurants. The Universal Orlando app is the best way to bundle all the conveniences you'll need into one simple tool. If you don't have it, you'll want to download it. Please note the CDC advises that older adults and people of any age who have serious underlying medical conditions might be at a higher risk for severe illness from COVID-19. Guests should evaluate their risk in determining whether to attend. People who show no symptoms can spread COVID-19 if they are infected. Any interaction with the general public poses an elevated risk of being exposed to COVID-19, and we cannot guarantee that you will not be exposed during your visit. We appreciate your cooperation during this unprecedented time. Of course, there's a lot that's changed very quickly, but your awesomeness never will. So we can't wait to see your smiling face and hear your shouts of joy, even if they are all hidden under a face covering. Stay safe. We hope to see you soon.
So those are a lot of the things that are in place, and Gunter mentioned a lot of them really well. So I just wanted to show you that video to add on the top. I think the really positive thing for us, both here in the UK and over there in the Benelux markets, is that obviously we're not able to fly yet. So everybody that is there, they are local Floridian guests that are going, and every single day Universal are learning more and more about how to make things better, how to improve things, how to make sure the social distancing and everything is working okay. And so there's loads of great things happening over there. And I think the longer that this will go on, the better position we will be in. By the time we move to flying, I think things will be very, very different, and everything will be working so much differently in the parks as well. So far, so good. We've only been open 2 weeks, but it's really, really positive news, and we are really keen to get our final 2 hotels opened and have all 8 hotels open very, very soon. So for the rest of the time that I have, I just wanted to point out a few of the new or new-ish attractions that are functioning at Universal. And many of you may have heard about Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. This is the new, what we call a story coaster, which opened in June last year. So we've just celebrated the first anniversary of this ride opening, which has brought so many people to Islands of Adventure to enjoy this ride. We planted 1,200 live trees and created the Forbidden Forest in the grounds of Hogwarts. And this roller coaster is like no other. As you can see in the picture there, Hagrid rides in his motorbike and sidecar. So You can ride this attraction in 2 different ways with 2 different feelings of flying through the forest. It goes from 0 to 50 miles per hour in a very quick time. So it's really exhilarating, really thrilling type of adventure. And you're so close to the ground and the trees that it feels like you're going a lot faster. And throughout the journey through the Forbidden Forest, you'll be hearing Hagrid's voice talking to you and telling you all of the magical creatures that you're slowing down to visit. You'll see all these different magic creatures, and then suddenly you'll be back at 50 miles per hour again, riding through the forest. It's a wonderful attraction. It's brought so many people to come and visit us again if they've been to Harry Potter before, but to come back to experience this ride. It's one of the best attractions in the whole of Florida. It's the longest track in the whole of Florida, and it also has these 7 different times where you launch from 0 to 50 miles an hour. So it really is breathtaking. It's a fantastic new reason to go and visit Islands of Adventure and Universal, just to ride this fantastic attraction. Another thing that actually just right now is happening is the new Bourne Stuntacular. So if anybody is a fan of Jason Bourne and the Bourne movies themselves, then this is our new franchise attraction in Universal Studios, Florida. This is a real mix between it's really a live stunt action show, which people are saying at the end of it, how on earth did that happen? How did they do that? It's a real cutting edge of fusion of stagecraft and also film as well. So you are in a theatre watching Jason Bourne dangling from a helicopter in Dubai, going on car and motorbike chases. It's like live action stunt artists on the stage, but the backdrops are the most enormous screens with fantastic visuals in there. So you really feel like you're in the middle of the country, in the middle of the action, and you really can't tell where the live action stops and where the real action begins. It's really a really amazing thing. If you have a look on YouTube at the moment, there are a few there's some previews going on now, some technical rehearsals that they say, and some customers have actually filmed some of it, and you can see it for yourself. It's going to be a really great new addition to the life at Universal Studios. And as I say, we're just preparing for the actual official opening. They're in technical rehearsals now, but some of the customers who are there in the parks at the moment are able to go and view these technical rehearsals, and they've been fantastic. So that's new and will be officially opened very, very soon. In fact, I think any week now. Volcano Bay, although it's 3 years old, it's still very, very new to a lot of people. The technology there is amazing. We're talking a lot now about virtual queue line for the main parks, but this is something that we've had in place. Virtual queue line technology was introduced at Volcano Bay with the wristband they call the Tapu Tapu that you've probably seen and talked about before. Those wristbands then give you an idea of how long the queue times are for each particular slide and ride, and if there is a queue time, you can tap your wristband onto the main screen and reserve yourself a place on the ride. So Volcano Bay was leading the way with this technology anyway, and we've now been able to reopen it. As you can see in the picture, there are so many different attractions for groups of families. So obviously people who are in the same family only will ride together on any of these rides in current times. But it's unbelievable. There's about 8 different attractions that you can actually have, you know, more than 3 or 4 people in the ride together at any one time. So it's really good fun for groups and families to be together. A fantastic setting with the 150-foot volcano being the centerpiece, and loads of brilliant rides and slides that you really don't see in too many other parks. And that's the reason why we call it Volcano Bay a water theme park, because it uses some technology that our roller coasters do in the parks to make those experiences really, really fantastic and really exhilarating. So again, if you haven't, or your customers haven't visited Volcano Bay, it is an unbelievably good reason to go back to Orlando again and go back and experience Universal. Over in the Belgian market, obviously we've got access to shorter duration tickets. So if your customers are just up in Kissimmee and Orlando for a very short space of time, they can book a 1-day ticket, a 2-day ticket. But we also have available the best value tickets, which are these 14-day unlimited use tickets. 2-park or a 3-park Explorer means you can go any day over 14 consecutive days, you can go in and out to all 3 parks as often as you want to. So if you are starting in and around Orlando and then maybe doing a tour of Florida and coming back into Orlando at the end, it's a great ticket to have. And most importantly, this 3-park Explorer ticket is actually the same price as a 2-day ticket that you would purchase in Orlando at the park itself. So a really good thing to say to your customers, please purchase a ticket before you travel. But if you're going to be there for more than a couple of days, definitely look at the Explorer ticket as a great option to go into all 3 parks. I just wanted to mention on the same thing about the hotels. So I mentioned before, we have hotels from basically what we call a value level, an entry level hotel. We saw Surfside and Dockside. And now right the way through to the very top 5-star level, the premier level of what we do at Universal Orlando Resort. And this little graphic gives a little indication of what you receive from the different hotels. So starting at the top is the value level there. And with all of our hotels, you get early park admission when you stay in a hotel. So you can be in the parks 1 hour before the general public arrive, which is really great in the busy periods during the year. Complimentary transportation from all our hotels. We have shuttle buses running from every hotel backwards and forwards until 2 a.m. when City Walk closes on normal days. Obviously, it's a little bit earlier, it closes now. But we also allow you to charge back to your room anything that you buy, whether it be in the other hotels or whether it be in the parks as well. As we move up the levels, you can see that when we get to Sapphire Falls and the 4 hotels that are on the waterway, you actually have access to get into the parks via the beautiful water taxis. If you've never experienced that before, it's a lovely way to travel 5 or 10 minutes on a water taxi direct from your hotel directly into the theme park entrances. And then at the very bottom there, we have the Loews Portofino Bay, the Hard Rock Hotel, and the Royal Pacific that I mentioned, the 3 hotels that include an express pass with your entry. So that room key that you receive will double up as entry into the express line, the speedier line for the parks as well. So these are all great selling points and different selling points for all of our Universal hotels. But I just wanted to concentrate on the newest of the hotels. As I say, Surfside Inn and Suites with its 750 rooms on the left-hand side there opened in June last year. And on the right-hand side, the 2 blocks of Dockside, which are due to open this summer, will give us almost another 3,000 rooms on site. The road that you see running between the 2 hotels is the road that runs up out of the view of the map up to the north, and just 3 minutes away on the shuttle bus is City Walk from there. But the road that runs across the top of the 2 that you can see there is International Drive. So it's the first time that we've had hotels that are actually on site. They have all the on-site benefits of staying at Universal, but you can actually jump out onto iDrive and take the iTrolley up and down to different restaurants and areas that you want to visit on International Drive, the shopping malls. We are right in the vicinity of everything that you can imagine in Orlando. So it's really good new location for us there, and just 3 minutes away by the shuttle bus from the parks themselves. So this is a really good selling point for the 2 hotels. Another great thing is that we just have 2 different room types in these hotels. So we have standard queen bedded rooms, and then we have the images that you see here. These are the 2-bedroomed family suites. So they have a separate bedroom, maybe for the adults. We have a room both with TVs in them and a kitchenette, and you can actually have a little bit more space within the rooms for your family. They sleep up to 6 people in total. And the great thing is that the value of these, they are located, as I say, on International Drive and Universal Boulevard. And the 2-bedroom suites sleeping up to 6 start from around about $114 per room per night. So this is the value that we're offering, and they're brand new. They are built and operated and run by Loews, who are our hotel partner. So you can see from the pictures there, this hotel is nothing to me like a 3-star standard hotel. We give you the 3-star, the value prices, but the actual hotels themselves are anything but value in the way that they look. So that's Surfside, very blue, very white. It's the feeling in the hotel is meant to be a day at the beach. You've got the surfboards. There's surfboards all over the hotel themselves. The swimming pool outside is designed and shaped like a surfboard itself. And then next door at Dockside, which opens in the summer, as I say, you've got a little bit more of the feeling of the day after the evening after the day at the beach, because you get more of the colours like the oranges and the reds to depict the sunset and that sort of feel. But again, this is our value. This is our lead-in style hotel, and you can see from the pictures how beautiful that it is and how amazing that it looks. So it's a fantastic experience for customers who really are paying the entry level of a hotel to have facilities like this. And again, we have half the hotel standard queen rooms, half the hotel has family suites, 2 bedrooms. So again, we have a large number of family suites for people to enjoy if they're looking for a little bit more space. 2 amazingly big pools, and again, 3 minutes on a shuttle bus and you're into Universal itself. So just to summarize, really, in terms of going back to the Universal Partner Community, universalpartnercommunity.com is the address. If you haven't registered before, the best thing you can do if you haven't registered already and you don't have access to it is to send us an email to salesandmarketing@nbcuni.com at the top there. Include your name and your email address and the company you work for, the travel aid. Don't worry about the ABTA, just the company you work for. Send us a quick email saying you'd like to register, and we will come back to you with a specific code to use to register you on there. And from then you just create your own password and you can go in and out of the partner community and find out all the information that you need to know anytime you want to. It's very, very simple once you've registered. So if you haven't done it already, just drop us those details, send us those details to sales and marketing, the sales and marketing email address, and we'll get you registered as soon as possible. And you'll be able to find out everything you need to know. So I hope that's answered a few questions. Obviously, if you do have anything, put it into the chat and we'll answer them afterwards. It covers everything really from my point of view in terms of everything we're doing at Universal at the moment. And I just want to say again, really, thank you very much for your time and for listening. And I'll hand back to Gerald.
Yes, thank you, Dave. Thank you very much for the presentation. So now let's go to our next presentation. So let's go deep underwater with our friend Norbert and SeaWorld. So Norbert, if you're ready.
Yes, I have no excuses actually to forget the audio and to get this up on screen, right? Because everyone else was able to do it. So,
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So let's
go.
Get going. So my name is Norbert. I work for SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment, and we have 12 parks around, all located in the US. But today, of course, we're going to talk about the 5 that we have in Central Florida: Discovery Cove, Aquatica, our water park, SeaWorld, the most famous one perhaps, and then Busch Gardens and Adventure Island, which are 2 parks that are actually in Tampa Bay, which Günther was talking about a little bit earlier. Okay. Why is it not going forward here? To do this on screen. Okay. All right. So the most exciting thing, of course, as Günther was saying already, and that we are reopened after just about 3 months. So all of our parks in Florida opened again on June 11th. And of course, we're excited to have everyone come back. Although, of course, we understand that us Europeans aren't allowed to travel to the US yet, but it won't be too much longer, hopefully. And I think in the course of the next couple of months, the rest of us will come and be back again. So Günther and Dave were both talking about what has changed, especially at the theme parks. I don't have to go and repeat everything, and I'm happy I'm not also showing the same video because you know, that's just a little bit too much on this topic. But of course, let me just add one thing to all these things with temperature screening, wearing masks, physical distancing, sanitation, and cleaning. These really sound like a lot of different things, but it's really nothing that we aren't experiencing in our everyday life here in Europe, in our own countries, really. The one thing perhaps that's a little different is the temperature screening when you get into the park. But I think it's just natural, as Gerald was saying, and I think you shouldn't be going, or as Günther was saying, you shouldn't be going anywhere anyway when you aren't feeling well, just to protect everyone else. So the one difference that we have, in addition, from Universal is that we are also now requiring all of our guests to reserve a specific day that they want to visit the park. You can continue to sell dateless tickets that you can get through your various partners, but we are asking all consumers or guests of the park, then once they know on which day they want to go, to go to our website and basically make a reservation for a specific day. And this will be with us as long as we are constrained with our capacity by regulations, the pandemic, and especially what the state wants for us. So at the moment, we are running at less than normal capacity. It's fairly simple, really. You just have to go to any of the home pages, SeaWorld.com, buschgardens.com, or whichever park you want to go. And this is actually what the home page now looks like. And then you just click on the Reserve Now button, and you will see a second page. All of us here from Europe will be just a normal ticket holder. You enter the number of people in your group and then the date that you want to go on a calendar, and then you come to a second page basically where then you enter your name, your email, and a barcode, which is always on every single ticket that we sell. And most of the tickets now are PDF files, so whatever you are giving to the consumer, if they purchase the ticket ahead of time, will always have a barcode number, and you enter that, the names, and then you get your automatic reservation confirmation. So it's a very simple system, and it's been up and running now for 1 week, and we haven't heard any really major complaints. So I guess that's about the news things. And before I show you, the basics and some of the wonderful things from the individual parks, I want also to start out with a video about what else SeaWorld is beyond a theme park, because we are also animal activists and help rescue and rehabilitate and return animals to the wild. And I hope you're hearing the sound. Okay, I think my videos are a little jerky, but that's okay. So I think it's just important to remember a visit to specifically SeaWorld is always about being able to encounter animals and learning about animals, but it is also increasingly about trying to help and save these animals beyond the park, and that we need to share the ocean with these animals together, and we're all part of one planet, and that's why we like to say, see the animals at our park and help save them in their natural habitat. So we've been doing this for many, many years, decades, and by now it's been over 36,500 animals, actually, a new number of animals that we have saved, rescued, rehabilitated at the park, and then returned back into the ocean. And I think, that's maybe also an important thing to remember. Coming to our parks, of course, it's a fun experience. You learn about these animals, but you're also there to, to help save them and to change the way we treat the ocean. So sorry, I think my videos are a little heavy, but I think you can see most of them that way. So SeaWorld, experiences that matter, as I was saying earlier. Let's just a couple of highlights, or basically what you can expect when you visit a SeaWorld park. Of course, first and foremost, we are a marine mammal park, so you will be seeing lots of different animals in near natural habitats, and you can learn about them, see presentations that are very educational, and then hopefully remember some of the things you learned when you return back home. But of course, it's a fun day as well. So you have the presentations that can be a comedian side of presentation, like here at the Sea Lion High, the new class, which is up and running again, even with the reopened park. And of course, many people come to us to visit the roller coasters that we have. All of the roller coasters or these attractions that we have, they are also inspired by the animals that live in the park. For example, here Manta, which is Florida's only flying inverted roller coaster. So you're actually laying flat with your stomach to the ground. Maybe something, before lunch to do. But it is one of my favorite roller coasters. But there is one that I like even better. Just my personal choice is Mako, which is our shark-inspired park. And I think until Hagrid's opened last year, it was the longest coaster, but it is still the fastest and the highest one in all of Orlando. So quite a challenge if you don't like these type of things. And I think I have a little clip here as well to take you in for just a little portion of the trip. It gives you a nice view over Orlando. Okay, so we have a number of these, of course, at the park. And, so animals, roller coasters, presentations. Across the street, we have our water park, which has been around for now about 10 years, called Aquatica. And it's a very colorful park with many different slides, and was also, not sure if this is specifically interesting for you, but it's also a certified autism center, as all 5 of our parks are now within Florida. 40 attractions. So it's a change of pace to get out into the Florida sunshine, to relax away from the larger parks at times, and just to play within, a colorful, full of water play park. And I think we have a little clip here as well to showcase some of the highlights. Yeah, I think all the videos are a little jerky. Sorry about that. And as Günther was mentioning, I'm just leaving Orlando and Kissimmee for a brief drive over to about an hour 15 away from the Kissimmee area is a city called Tampa Bay, and we have 2 parks there as well, Busch Gardens and also our water park at Adventure Island. Busch Gardens, very similar to SeaWorld, just with different animals. Think more of a safari park atmosphere, so many different animals from around the world in an open, free range roaming setting where you can see various different animals, but also a world-class zoo and roller coasters. And here we'll try to see another video, which will give you a little bit of a inside, but I guess we've skipped over that already, which is okay. But as I was saying, this is a wide, open zoo-type atmosphere where you can see many different types of animals. But one of the big specialties, of course, for Busch Gardens are the various thrill rides that we have there. It's actually the largest collection of open-air roller coasters in the entire state of Florida, and I think even the southeastern portion of the US. Have 9 of those, and we'll soon be opening a 10th one. This is just a little picture from Cheetah Chase, which is one of the favorite ones. Then we have SheiKra, which you will see hopefully in the next video, which is our floorless drop coaster that drops you from almost 100 meters perpendicular, 90 degrees down. And that's something that can be quite challenging. And you might want to remember that name called this roller coaster called SheiKra. Yeah, this is the first drop. So let's try to talk briefly about some ticket products. Dave was showcasing some of the ones, the various varieties that Universal is also offering. We have our single day tickets and our multi-park tickets as well. So any of our 2 or 3 park tickets or the unlimited ticket as it's listed here on the left-hand side are valid for use at your free choice of any of the parks that I've just showcased. So we have the 5 parks or the 4 parks. We'll get to Discovery Cove in a moment. And these tickets, you can decide once you are in town, which park to go on which day, remembering the new reservation need. And of course, the more parks you include in your ticket, of course, the cheaper each individual visit then becomes. And you can see just a little bit on the right-hand side how much discount you can get just by buying these tickets. And these are the official prices that we are selling them directly to the consumer at the moment. And any of our partners will, of course, have better pricing for that and be selling it to you in euro, inclusive of the taxes. These are the prices before tax. Of course, there are various ways of even getting more out of a visit there. You can include your meals ahead of time if you like, or front of line access, all these various things. It's a little too complicated today maybe for this presentation, but if you want more information on that, just please get in touch with me. And I can give you their very detailed information on the various ticket products that we have. So before we end, I want to showcase you something completely different, which is Discovery Cove. We try not to call it a theme park. It's a day resort because it really is a step away and in a different world. You don't really remember or see where you are. There's nothing taller than a palm tree, and you can't really see anything besides the palm trees and the almost paradise lagoon that we have there. So this is an area, a experience that allows every guest, limited admission, of course, and now even less than previously, to enjoy a lagoon with sandy beaches, palm trees, and also to interact with various animals. And I think there's, so it is a very more of a luxurious upscale type of experience. Any ticket that or reservation for Discovery Cove, where you can swim with the dolphins, you can snorkel through a tropical reef, you can walk through a free fly aviary with hundreds of very friendly birds that will land on your arm and your shoulders, or you can just relax at the beach. And this Discovery Cove also includes all-inclusive, basically all the meals that you need for the day, and including drinks and beverages and anything that you want really for the day. You only need to bring your bathing suit. Everything else is provided. And anyone making a Discovery Cove reservation will also receive complimentary entry into SeaWorld and Aquatica surrounding their visits for up to 14 days. So it's quite a nice package, but of course, again, as Günther was saying earlier, there's so much to do in the Kissimmee area, including the theme parks in Orlando, that it really makes sense to go to Discovery Cove and the other parks when your client is staying for a longer period of days and not just a couple of nights in Orlando, which is a shame anyway. So I think I can show you a little video, hopefully, on what to expect at Discovery Cove before we come to an end. So that's basically it. Come to the end, and I'm not quite sure if there are any questions for me or for my colleagues. And I think just to make sure that you know where you can get in touch with me, very simple, and Simon at noblecom.de, or of course with the various other opportunities to get in touch. So that's it, Gerard.
Great. Thank you very much, Norbert. We have seen a lot of things and learned a lot of things today. So also regarding the new measure that people will have when they will visit those area. So just to make a quick update, I know that the situation actually is really difficult for all of us in the tourism industry. Also here in Belgium, this is really difficult also due to the Corona voucher that we have to issue before tomorrow. I know that you also have a lot of questions regarding the reopening of the borders. You all have to know that we are on this. Okay, we are in connection with the U.S. government. And we try to have the information. Okay, so as you also know, actually, due to the situation in the U.S., the reopening of the borders is not the top priority, actually. So we have received some information yesterday that the border between U.S. and Canada will logically be reopened on July 21st. But it will all depend of how the virus will be stopped and how it will work between both countries. So we can hope that if they reopen the border between Canada and US in July 21st, we can maybe hope that at the end of July we could hope reopening for international travelers. But don't worry, we continue to follow all the information. So you will also receive soon our newsletter. The second newsletter will be sent with some different information regarding the reopening and different things and different questions that you may have. If you've got some specific question about an area, about something in general, or what it would happen, don't hesitate to send me an email, to contact me. It will be a pleasure for me to help you. So now this is the end of our first webinar. I really want to thank you for following us. Also, thank you, Günther, Dave, and Simon to be part of this first webinar. And I wish you a wonderful day and see you next time, everybody. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Good day.